am I talking to Max?
Yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. So I am the assistant of the real estate agent, James Williams. He is looking for properties in Queens, and he wanted to know if you are thinking of selling yours.
Well, I actually was.
I see. That's great to hear, Max. Could you share with me the reason you're considering selling your property?
Basically because I want to retire with my wife.
That sounds wonderful, Max. Retirement is a big step. Could you tell me some features of your property?
Yeah, it has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
Give me a moment. Just a sec. One moment. Thank you for your patience, Max. James will get in touch with you shortly regarding your property. Have a nice day, and thanks for everything.
You too. Bye. And here you can see an SMS that has been arrived to the real estate agent informing that a new lead has been registered. What you have just seen are the Vapi.ai cold calling campaigns that we are gonna build today. We have a previous video on AI cold calling campaigns inside Vapi.ai, and today we are gonna show how to build them inside Vapi, so that you can personalize more and set up more settings than with Blunt. So with this said, let's go into the build. So here we are in Vapi, ready to start our AI voice cold calling campaigns inside this platform. Let's click on try for free and let's get inside. Once here, instead of going to assistance, as we usually do in Vapi, we're gonna come here into API documentation, because to create an AI voice cold calling campaigns inside Vapi, we are gonna create an AI voice transient assistant. So we're gonna go to create assistant, there you go, and we're gonna click on play. Once inside, we're gonna start adding some information. We're gonna ask if the user is interested in selling, and if yes, which is the reason of selling. So let's go into it. So here we are always gonna start with transcriber. Are gonna change actually this to deep grunt because it's always the best. Language, we will leave it in English. There you go. And we are also gonna change the format as we want it to be in Nova 2. What's gonna be the next thing? The model, in which we're gonna use OpenAI, and I'm gonna use for a minute to have a balance between the token usage and the performance. We are gonna add here max tokens. I usually leave it in 250 is the most common, but with these types of IENs which they have to talk a lot, I leave it at least in 500. Let's go now with temperature, which I usually leave in 0.2. Next thing will be messages, and we are gonna add a message in which is gonna be system content. Here is gonna be the prompt of the assistant, which I will add later. We are gonna first finish this. Next thing is gonna be to add tools, because we need tools in this case for this part of Vapi, as we did with the blunt part. So we are gonna put the tools. Here we are gonna have to add function with the description and the parameters, which is gonna be the most important part of the function. We're gonna create one function, which is gonna be interest and reason for selling, and the description is gonna be the interest, yes or no, of the user on selling his property, and the reason of selling or not his property. Properties, we are gonna add two, as I told, the interest and the reason. Both are gonna actually be strings. We are gonna put here the description, which is gonna be needed, and we are gonna put interest. It's gonna be how it's gonna be called, and I'm gonna put the description. Interest of the user in selling his property, it can only be yes or no. Let's go with the next one, which is gonna be in this case reason for selling. It's gonna be still a string, but this one is gonna be a bit larger, as we are gonna need a big description of why the user doesn't want or does want to sell his property. Reason for selling, output the exact words, and I have put an example. Perfect. Let's go with the next parts. Voice. Really important part. We're not gonna go with Azure. Cartesia, I actually created a LinkedIn post about it, and it's good, but we're gonna continue with 11 labs, in which we are gonna select, for example, let's go with Philip. Sounds good. Let's go also with language, where we have to put English, and the model is also really important always. We're gonna put the V25. Next thing will be the first message mode, and we will select assistant speaks first. We will set up later the first message. There you have. Here we're gonna put the first message. I will put it later with the prompt. To activate the transcript, we will need to go later to artifact plan. There you go. In which we are gonna go into transcript plan. We are gonna set it in true. We're also gonna add the recording enabled. This is the artifact plan is okay. Let's go now with the client messages, which I don't usually add them as I don't use them a lot, but let's go with service messages, which is gonna be actually really important. Let's go here, and we're gonna add two in this case. The first one is gonna be end of call report, and the second one is gonna be function call. We are gonna add a setting of background sound, which is gonna be obviously off. It's awful to hear the office background of Vapi. Nextly, let's go with name, which we are gonna add, and it's gonna be aivoice calling. Nextly, you could actually add probably an end call message or a voicemail message. We're not gonna add it, but as we cannot prove it and test it, but it's a good option if you are gonna do a real use case, and we can include it. We're gonna add lately the server URL, as this part is where we are gonna receive the transcript of the call, and we are actually also gonna add it here inside the tools, where you can see here server. There you go, because we need to go the information of the tools to go to a place which is gonna be the webhook of our assistant. So now we're gonna finally add the final details. I'm gonna add the prompt, and then we will go to make.com to put the webhook into this URL. So I'm gonna add finally here the prompt. There you go. I'm gonna copy, in this case, the first message and add it down. There you go. I'm gonna come back down here and add it here. And by the way, I'm gonna add another function just to include actually the description of the property, as that's what we are gonna need also for the real estate agent. So we are gonna add a new item, which is gonna be description of the property. It's also gonna be a string, and we are gonna ask the description to tell the exact words that the user used to describe his property. So now we are ready to go. Firstly, we're gonna go into make.com to create the webhook to include in both server URLs. So here we are in make. Let's log in and let's go inside. Once here, we are gonna create, in this case today, we will be creating two scenarios: one to receive the information and another one to send the calls. So let's first create the one that we're gonna include the server URL, or the one that is gonna receive the information. I'm gonna change the name to receive Vapi calling, and I'm gonna come here to create a new custom webhook. There you go. We are gonna add another one. I'm gonna give it a name of Vapi calling. Save, and I'm gonna copy address to clipboard. Come here and use it to paste it where it says server URL. There you go, and down here, there you go. With this, we are gonna be able already to take this to a JSON editor line and start the other scenario, which is gonna be responsible for sending the calls. So I'm gonna first save this one, click on OK and save this one. We'll be continuing this one later, but let's go now to the other one. Before creating it, by the way, we're gonna have to build CRM, where we are gonna include all the leads that we are gonna call. So let's go to Google Sheets to create it. So what I've done is create this Google Sheet with the phone number, the first name, the location, and the call sent. Call sent is a column that we will use to make the calls, as we, at the end of each call, we will put here call sent, so that the calls are sent to all the lines and rows that don't have that call sent inside this column. We are gonna come back here, and what we are gonna do is copy from this part just after curly brace and take it into the next curly brace. We're gonna take it to a JSON editor online and we're gonna paste it here. There you go. We're gonna take out this final thing we had and we're gonna transform it here. There you go. Here we have it transformed. So now we're gonna create that scenario. Let's come here and let's create another one, which is gonna be calling Vapi, calling campaigns. I'm gonna put here Google Sheets. We're gonna go with search rows. There you go. I'm gonna select my spreadsheet ID. Once selected, we're gonna set the limit to 1. The seed name, it's the only seed we have. And we want to put where and take out the ones that call send is not existing. So later we are not gonna order it by nothing. We're just gonna click on OK. We'll set this to, for example, 15 minutes each day to be running it constantly. And here we're gonna add a new tool and set variable, which we are gonna call assistant. There you go. So we're gonna copy everything from here until the end. There you go. And we are gonna paste it here. Perfect. We're gonna click on OK. Later we're gonna select the get a parse JSON, in which we're gonna put these braces, and in the middle we're gonna put the assistant. There you go. Click OK. Firstly, we're gonna actually run this to get everything. Okay, with the test done, let's go with now an array aggregator, in which we're gonna select the source module of JSON and we're gonna select all of these. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. And with this, we are gonna click on OK, and there we are gonna go to JSON, transform to JSON, and we are gonna say here first parentheses array, and we're gonna close it. There you go, and we're gonna click on OK. Now we're gonna add an HTTP module, which we're gonna make a request, and we're gonna come back here into create a call. We're gonna come here, we're gonna just add the customer. Let's go to customer here, and there we're gonna add the name, the number, and the extension, but we just leave the part of extension blank. We're then gonna go to assistant. This part will include the part of the set variable tool, JSON, and everything of make, and we are also gonna include the phone number ID. Just let's copy this until here, bring it back to the JSON editor online, paste this one, transform here, there you go, and bring it here to the HTTP module, raw, JSON, and paste it here. And inside here, we are going to include the name, the number we got from the Google Sheets. Perfect. And once done, we are going to take out this part and we are going to put this last JSON string from here. Before going to the next step, we are going to select the method of post. We are going to come here and copy this and bring it here. There you go. And we're going to set some headers. First one will be authorization. There you go. In which we are going to put here bearer. And you will have to include here your API key from Vapi. So bearer and your API key. And later we are gonna include content type here, and we're gonna put application JSON. So remember to include here the API key and down here your phone number ID. With this done, we are gonna add one final step, which is gonna be the Google Sheets actualization of the row, in which we are gonna say that the call has been sent. So we're gonna update a row. We're gonna select my spreadsheet ID. Perfect. Here we're gonna put the row number that we got from the other Google Sheets of the start, and we're gonna come back down here to call send, and let's put call send in, and I'm gonna put the format date. I'm gonna include now. Come here into the calendar. There you go, and put now, and I'm gonna put day, month, year, and hours, minutes. And I'm gonna close it. And we will click on OK, and this scenario will be finished. I'm gonna save it, and now we will go directly to the next scenario of the webhook that we created to separate between the function calls and the end of call report and everything. Let's go. So the first thing we will do in here is add a router. There you go, in which we will separate two things that we want to receive on the webhook: the function call, and here we will include the end of call report. Run this module only and run a test to see and to receive how it works and to receive the information here to continue the scenario. So after doing the test, what we are gonna do is come back here and we are gonna add some columns, which are gonna be the transcript, the cost, interested, reason for selling, and features of the property. So in the part of function call, we are gonna actually add another router in which we are gonna separate between interested or not interested. So we're gonna do it like this, and in the first one we're gonna put that the prospect is not gonna be interested. So we'll go to tool calls, function, arguments, and we want to go with interest, and here we're going to set up no, and in this one we're going to set the order, so tool calls, function, arguments, interest, which is going to be yes. To start with the branch of no, we're going to go to Google Sheets and we are going to search the row, and we will go here into phone number and we will set it equal to customer, and here you will select the number. There you go. So we're gonna click on OK. So with that, we're gonna add another module here of Google Sheets in which we are gonna update the info. We're gonna add here the row number of the previous one, and inside interest we are just gonna add the interest that is gonna be actually no. The transcript will be added later in the root on this root of end of call report, and the cost will also be there added. Here we're gonna do exactly the same. I'm gonna clone this one. There you go, and delete this module, and I'm gonna clone this one also. There you go. So we're gonna change the row number to this one. We are gonna go into interested and we're gonna change it to yes. Reason for selling, we're gonna go to tool calls, function, arguments, and reason for selling, and here we are gonna put features of the property, description of the property. Finally, we will be adding a Twilio message in which we will be messaging the real estate agent to let him know that there's a new interested lead that wants to sell his property. So we're gonna put here, go down and select customer number, and as the real estate agent was called James, we're gonna say, well, his property is in the location and it has, and here we're gonna put the features of the property. And with this part of the scenario would be finished. So let's go to the second one. So now let's go to the other part, the part of end of call report. We're gonna start cloning this module as we are gonna use it in all the branches. There you go, and we're gonna take it here. What we are gonna do next is basically in this part, we're just gonna include the transcript and the cost of the call. So we're gonna go to Google Sheets, update a row. Let's go here, let's select our file, and once inside, we're gonna choose our row number. We're gonna go into transcript and we are gonna set here the transcript where it says artifact transcript. There you go. Or well, you could also choose this one, it doesn't matter, it's the same. And in cost, we're gonna set the cost. These things have been already set in the other part, so that way when the end of call report comes inside the webhook, we're gonna receive the transcript and the cost, but when the function call comes into the webhook, we are gonna include in the Google Sheets all the part of the functions. So I'm gonna click on OK. With this done, the scenario would be finished. Now let's go to test it. We're gonna have to set up this scenario on as we don't want it to put it to run once. And let's go to test it right now. So after doing a small test, I've come to the conclusion that we have to change this. Instead of function call to tool calls. Sorry about it. As well as, if you remember, we came here and we put that this had to be a DTMF. It has to be a function. So if you've already do it, just come here, go into that part of functions, and instead of putting DTM, just put function, and it's gonna work perfectly. So let's click here on run once and let's receive the call.
Hello there, am I talking to Max?
Yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. So I am the assistant of the real estate agent, James Williams. He is looking for properties in Queens, and he wants to know if you're thinking of selling yours.
Yeah, it was actually.
I see, Max. Could you share with me the reason why you're considering selling your property?
Basically because I want to retire with my wife.
That sounds wonderful, Max. Retirement is an exciting time. Could you tell me some features of your property?
Of course, it has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
One moment. This will just take a sec. Thank you for your patience, Max. James will get in touch with you shortly regarding your property. Have a nice day, and thanks for everything.
You too. Bye. Here we have the end of our report. There you go. And it has been done. So we come here and we will find the call sent, of course, the transcript, the cost, the interest, the reason for selling, and the features of the property. And with this, the scenario will be tested and built and ended. So you can build AI voice calling campaigns inside Vapi, which are gonna work perfectly. So guys, with this the video has ended. I hope you've enjoyed and you've learned how to build these AI voice calling campaigns inside Vapi, and you've also seen how to take value from them and build them, take more value from them than from the bland ones. Again, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.